Yo, yo,
Yo,
we are here.
yes, sir.
Live stream NBA pod once again, Monday nights. A little bit late again, but hey, should happen. But bright side, we're here.
Yes,
See, we got
sir.
the NBA pod live tonight. For Baller Central, me and Elijah this week. Before we continue, Elijah, how you doing?
Chilling, man. It's been a good week, good weekend, honestly. How about you?
Hey, happy belated, by the way. Shout out to you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yep, yep. Glad you enjoyed me and John's gift. Shout out to John. Couldn't make it.
Yes, sir. The gift will be shown on the
So,
WWE pod
hey,
as soon as we do that.
absolutely. From my end, pretty good so far. All three of my fantasy football teams scored over 150. So I know it's not basketball, but it's always a good sign when your team wins the fantasy because in the NFL, oof, yikes. But we'll talk about that on Thursday. But hey, we're here. It's always a good time Monday nights to talk with Elijah about basketball, one of our favorite sports of all time. So I'm excited. Let's see. We have a lot to go over. Obviously, preseason just started. There's some games going on tonight. Victor versus Chet Holmgren, always a good matchup.
Hmm.
Celtics and Knicks and others. So, but before we get into that, Team USA, they saw how they got embarrassed in the FIBA basketball gameplay this year, so they said, "Fuck it, we're sending the A squad, the A plus squad. Embiid, Durant, Tatum. People are like talking in their interviews to try to get into Team USA. Booker. There's gonna be people that are so talented that are gonna be left out. To be honest,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
and
you
that's
had to
okay.
pick your dream, yeah, I mean, hey, there's a lot of A plus guys on the roster. If you had to pick your 12 guys, who would it be to go into Paris Olympics this upcoming year?
Okay, so obviously we're only going over USA players. But
Yep.
definitely, Steph, KD, Braun. I guess Joel Embiid counts now. He's Team USA, I guess. Um, Anthony
You got the dual
Davis is
citizenship.
5. Yeah, the dual citizenship. That's 5 right there. We got Kawhi 6, Kyrie 7, mm, Jimmy 8, Dame 9. Running out of bigs here. My Bam's Team USA too, so that's 10. And I gotta go.
We got two more, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, off of bias, you feel me? Mikal Bridges is going over there, and Devin Booker's probably going to be over there too, man. I know I left out somebody, but
Um,
I feel like I didn't say Tatum. I didn't say Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
So yeah, Mikhail's off the list. Tatum's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my 12 right there. What's
Um,
your 12, man?
for me, Steph Curry has to be there. Probably Donovan Mitchell has to be there as well. Uh, KD, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid got to be there because I feel like if LeBron's going, Anthony Davis is going to follow no matter what. So I feel like he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
6. Dame Lillard definitely has to be there. Kawhi, D-Book. 8. They need a big. I think Bam Adebayo gets his redemption because we're not bringing Walker Kessler or anyone else there.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think with Team USA that we don't really have.
Maybe.
We don't have bigs.
Yeah. 3 more, I believe. Jimmy got to be there with Bam. And then just 2 more. I'm gonna go with Paul George and I'm trying to think of who would be a good young player. SGA. Why not?
He's Canadian.
Oh no, SGA's Canadian. Yeah, he's Canadian. I know Trae Young is not able to play in there because he's probably shadow banned or something like he said. But Trae Young will be a nice addition to that team.
I think another good addition would probably be if we're talking about youngins. Jalen Brunson would probably be a good one.
Yeah. Jabari Smith possibly if he's American.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. Plus, bring Popovich there. Bring Coach K. Bring all your heavy hitters.
Listen, as long as Brown is going over there,
FIBA tournament went. We got you.
I was gonna say, as long as we got Brown over there, KD over there, Steph over there, like it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly, and I know it's not like this isn't a response to what Noah Lyles said, talking about the NBA champs aren't champs of the world, but we're gonna show everybody why Team USA is literally top dog and why nobody can stop us, man. We are him together.
We are them. Yeah. Just as collective. Maybe Ant Edwards can also be like the 12th or 13th man on that bench.
That's a nice youngin right there.
I feel like he's the one that played the best out of that group. So, I mean, but next summer is gonna be very interesting. We'll see how that goes. There's gonna be a lot of good competition. If everyone plays, Team Canada will be a good bunch. Serbia, obviously. If Luka decides to play. Let's see. Is there anything else you wanna?
Spain and Argentina is going to be also another good fight because they're always good fights. But it's really like we're going to be beating everybody by 50 again, and it's not going to be fun for the rest of the world, man. It's going to be ugly. I'm telling you, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, and Bronco didn't have to do much this time around.
He doesn't. But in terms of anything else I want to talk about, really, because it's still my birthday weekend, guys. I'm sorry. I'm still outside. That's why I'm about to head out of here, actually. But in terms of anything else that I want to talk about for real is just that there's not really much else I really want to talk about. But I am interested in seeing how this load management thing plays out with players like Kawhi and Paul George, who just so happen to be on the same team. A lot of these injuries,
LeBron and AD as well.
I'm seeing reports that the teams are now allowed to not pay players if they're not playing. So if that's the case, I'm really excited to see this season, man. But I will be in the chat as much as I can be tonight. I will be paying attention, Phil. I'm locked in. I'm sorry. I am outside. Like I said, it's still my birthday weekend. I appreciate whoever's tuned in. I can't really see anything on my phone. But love y'all. And I will actually see you later, Phil, because we still have the other pod to do.
Gotcha. Also, one player you want to check out in preseason on your team?
On my team is just...
Yep, one team and not your team.
It's just Omax and Lively. And I also want to see how Jaden Hardy and Josh Green step up in terms of on the Mavs. On the Nets, I just want to see if Ben is really going to be healthy this year, and I want to see what he can do. But that's it, man.
Oh, Chris Wilson says happy belated, Elijah.
Thank you, Chris. Shout out Chris, always in the chat, man.
Appreciate it. Okay, so
All right,
Do what you got to
I'm
do.
gonna head
I'll
out
see
of
you
here
soon.
though. Have a good. I'm gonna text you.
Okay. Bet. If not, you're kicked off the pod. Okay, so okay, gotcha. So we are doing a solo real quick. For the rest of the hour, it's gonna be me, myself, and the I. Chris, how are you doing today? By the way, appreciate you for tuning in as always. How's your day going? So we have a lot to talk about tonight. First of all, uh, preseason is here. We talked about NBA Team USA, but also I want to talk about is um, there's also some Clippers and uh, appreciate it. Also, some Clippers and Sixers talk surrounding James Harden, obviously, because James Harden obviously does not want to play with Philadelphia anymore, so he wants to move. And the Clippers has been the most like consistent suitor for that team for James Harden as well. But it still looks like teams are far from like reaching an agreement. So the Sixers are going to add picks. I know. Well, the Clippers might add picks because the Sixers want Terrence Mann. They want a lot for James Harden, and rightfully so. James Harden is a very good player. So if you're Philly, you need someone to help keep them contenders with Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, who will probably be the new number 2. So, I mean, if I was them, if I was the Clippers, a draft pick or two, maybe a couple second or first rounders, maybe like 2, 3 first, second rounders, because that's been the wave this year and the offseason and the draft trading for second rounders. And also probably it has to be Terrence Mann. I mean, you already have Russ, you already have some. Maybe you get rid of Rocco and maybe Norman Powell, but maybe a combination of 2 out of those 3. But I mean, if you get James Harden, uh, I don't know how the load management is going to go or like the what's called the policy against that, but you would have Harden, Russ taking care of the work if Paul George, God forbid, Paul George and Kawhi both go down with injuries, and you still have a decent team right there with Russ and Harden. So it all depends on that as well. So we also have a lot of preseason talk to go over right now. As of right now, what games are playing right now? Let me double check. As of right now, Sixers not playing. We have Celtics and Knicks. The Celtics are down by 6.5. Spurs and Thunder. Wemby versus Mr. Wemby versus Chet Holmgren. As of right now, Wemby has 10 points, 1 rebound, and Chet Holmgren has 14 and 8. So the battle of the number 1 picks is going well so far. NBA TV, if you want to watch that. So everything's looking good so far for Chet Holmgren. I think he, out of everyone, will probably be the biggest threat to Victor Wembanyama's Rookie of the Year candidacy, and rightfully so. I think this Thunder team is going to be very good this year. I think they'll be a top 4, top 5 seed, competing with all these weapons as well. Shy looking to bounce back from his great year as well. SGA, Shy and SGA is the same person. SGA, Giddy, you got both Williams. You have Jalen Williams, both of them. You have Isaiah Joe, good shooter, Lou Dort as well. I just think that the potential of this young team is very high, and they can shock some people. Not gonna lie to you. But so far, that's that game. The Spurs and Thunder is in the second quarter, about 9 minutes left. So if you want to tune in, it's on NBA TV. And Celtics Knicks so far, as of right now. Let's see, Cornette. I don't think they're playing Porzingis. They're not playing any of the starters. So yeah, so this is pretty much a bench game for everybody. Yeah, because I don't see Tatum stats. Yeah, so pretty much it's the bench versus the Knicks starter. So not much going on from there. But so far, off of first glance, I like the way Jrue Holiday is playing. He's basically an upgraded Marcus Smart, in my opinion. I think the same. They're around the same defensive level and intensity. Plus, I think Jrue Holiday is a better. And this should be obvious for everyone. No bias here. No Celtics bias. If I trust Jrue Holiday with a bucket over Marcus Smart. So that's fine with me. I hate seeing Marcus Smart go. He's one of my favorite Celtics of all time. But if you want to win a championship, sacrifices had to be made, and that was a huge sacrifice. Also seeing Robert Williams go as well. Great defensively, but struggled to develop offensively. But you have Porzingis who can do both. He can play defense and score on offense because blocks, he was, I think he was like top 5, top 10 in blocks, so looking pretty good. Anyone in the chat that has any questions on like how do you think someone's gonna do, or let me know what team. Chris, what team are you repping NBA season if you watch basketball? If not, let me. That's okay too. I'm just trying to see what everyone's into right now going into the season. Any predictions as well? I said for me, prediction wise, SGA, not SGA. I keep saying SGA. Josh Giddey, most improved, and Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year. So it's a lot going on right now. So it's gonna be very, very. I feel like the season is gonna be hilarious, especially on Twitter and all the memes. Because every day I see the Jason Tatum meme of like some random person that looks like Tatum that's not Tatum dancing and shit. So I feel like the memes this year is gonna be fire. And I don't care who is it about. I love a good meme, whether it's LeBron, whether it's Tatum, whether it's Chicago or whoever. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the season goes. Let's see, any other news? Shaq wants to buy a team in Las Vegas. Hey, Shaq, if anyone can, Shaq, he has the money for it. Also, Kai Jones, I don't know if the basketball, but Knicks. Oh, I am sorry, Chris. The Knicks. John. I mean, obviously, our boy John is a Knicks fan as well, so very, very tough for you guys. I'm sorry, but I mean, hopefully, Jalen Brunson can lead the change of things to for positive outcomes, I guess. Because I like Jalen Brunson is the best player on that team, but they just need to get a better team around him. So I mean, I don't hate the Knicks. Well, I mean, sorry, I do hate the Knicks, but I can be somewhat unbiased about them. They just need to get a new owner, but that'll be impossible. But with the way things are going, I think they'll be middle of the pack for a while, unless they need to trade Randall. They need to see what options are actually like viable to get. Just because Julius Randle is not cutting it, I think you can improve the number 2 spot. Mitchell Robinson, I like. RJ Barrett, he can develop. Josh Hart, I like his role, 3-and-D player. They got a lot of former Villanova players, which, hey, if it works, it works. You keep Jalen Brunson happy. But other than that, I think they need to get a big that's better than Julius Randle to try to compete. I mean, yes, they beat the Cavs, but as soon as they ran into the Heat, buzzsaw. So, also, that coach is Tom Thibodeau, John Anderson. What? Wait. Is this true? Chris, is this true? John used to be a Nets fan in middle school? Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta take a picture of this. Hold on. Is this true? No cap. Oh wow, he said no cap. Wow. Listen, I don't know if you follow us on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, Jason Kidd's yeah, I know he likes Jason Kidd, but if he Knicks Jason Kidd over Nets Jason Kidd, that's just nasty work. I'm not gonna lie to you. But if you have any pictures or like evidence of this, you can DM Baller Central on Instagram at Baller Central 4, Twitter at Baller Central 4, or just on Facebook at Baller Central. So if you have any evidence, I mean, or blackmail, I mean, evidence would be lovely. So I appreciate it. So, but enough about the Knicks. What else? Actually, let's go into. I'm gonna do a little bit of a awards preview as well. Actually, not awards preview. Let me look at some teams real quick. Also, wait. Before we continue, I'll look for some evidence he might deny. Hey, if the evidence is there, if he's in a jersey or a hat or even a shirt of any Nets related stuff, if he's guilty, he is guilty by association. But if you do, DM it to Ball Central. Thank you. So, little quick of a bit of a commercial / little promo. Friend of the show, Lawrence Elliott, it has a clothing brand coming out. A lot of great. Chris, you might like this. It's football wise. I got. He has a line out of sports apparel, and he makes jerseys and stuff like that. So a lot of good things, a lot of good outfits slash shirts coming out from our boy Lawrence Elliott, big friend of the show. So this is his website, whatinspiresyouapparel.com. So as of right now, if you're a football fan, pay attention, football fans. He has a lot of shirts coming out of some of the top players on every team. So if you're a Broncos fan, Patrick Surtain. If you're a Bills fan, Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, Daniel Jones if you're the Giants, Puka Nakua if you're the Rams, Olave if you're a Saints fan like Lawrence, Micah Parsons if you're a Dallas fan, and Dallas fans after last night, oof, tragic. Herbert if you're a Chargers fan, and the list goes down more and more. Mahomes, Max Crosby, Matt Judon if you're a Patriots fan like myself, and Tyreek Hill, and even more. So if you want to tap in, you can follow. I think we shouted it out a couple days ago. Just follow the pages on his thing. Hey, if not, show some love. Check it out. Feel free to check out the website. DM him if you have any questions, or DM the page WIY Apparel at IG. Hey, it's a lot of good stuff here. So t-shirts are fire. I'm getting one myself. I have the Matthew Judo one personally. So hey, these shirts are Ball Central approved. They're fire. Great material as well. So if you're an NFL fan that loves certain players, especially the ones on your team and maybe other teams, these are the shirts you need to get. So shout out Lawrence and What Inspires You Apparel. So okay, so we have some stuff to look over as well. Let's see, NBA.com. I'm just gonna go over some random stuff real quick. Standings. I'm gonna just give a small prediction about each team, what I like, what I don't like, and then maybe at the end I'll probably do like a little NBA quiz. We'll see. Okay. Solo. Bang. Bang. Oh, wrong one. Share screen. Okay, when you see it, let me know it pops. Oh, okay, so there it is right there. Okay, so this is the Eastern Conference standings from last year. And I'm just going to go over team by team since we have the time. Hold on, give me one moment. Okay, so what was I going to check out? Okay, so basically, I'm going to go over bottom to top. So the Pistons, we'll go with number 15 all the way to number 1. The Pistons didn't do much. They added one of the Thompson twins, so I think that's gonna be great. But I just see them for this year, another rebuilding year, because yes, they have Healthy, Jaden Ivey, they have Asar Thompson, I believe, because the Rockets have Amen Thompson. But I like what they're building over there in Detroit. Grab a couple more pieces, add some vets to add to that team, and then you should be good. But it's another rebuild year. So as the Hornets, yeah, it's a lot going on in Charlotte, huh? Kai Jones wants to trade after his drama in the offseason as well. LaMelo Ball is dealing with health issues back and forth. Miles Bridges was his stunts that got him in trouble. But they re-signed him. I think they re-signed PJ Washington as well. But they lose Kelly Oubre, so it's another rebuild year. I don't see them as contenders. No one should. Just because the culture and the team organization is a mess right now. I don't see him being taken seriously at all. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I don't know where we left off, so just uh okay, so I'm just gonna go down the list, basically. Um Pistons, not contending. Hornets not contending. Magic not contending. Wizards, they could. I think they'll be in the race for like beginning of the year, but I think they'll fall off eventually. But but I think but I think they're going to surprise some people. Jordan Poole, you have Tyus Jones, you have Kyle Kuzma that stayed. They have some shooters and Corey Kispert, etc. This can be a team that could potentially be spoiler at the end of the year. Just because I mean we get to see what Jordan Poole does with no Curry, no Clay, no Draymond. No distractions. No, obviously he'll still have the distractions of what happened with Draymond, but he's free to do his own, run his offense, play his game the way that he wants to. I think he's arguably the best player there. Maybe Kuzma or Poole, but he'll be a top two option, not behind Clay or Steph. So I think his offense will open up more, and he probably average around 24, 25 points probably in the season. So it'd be very interesting to see what the Wizards do. The Pacers, I'm high on the Pacers this year. Bruce Brown joins the squad, adds some defensive tenacity. Um, Tallis Halliburton is only going to get better within every year. Miles Turner, one of the most underrated centers in the league, good shooter, good blocker. He gets bullied around sometimes, but I think he's still a good starter, maybe top 10, top 11. Um, but it all depends on Buddy Hield because Buddy Hield's a great player, one of the best shooters in the league. But obviously, he's not happy in the system, so he could be moved, which will be a big blow to the Pacers because they will miss his shooting, playmaking, and leadership. But if he's not happy there, you got to move him. I don't know what he can be moved for, but Lakers are an option. The Heat are always an option because they missed out on Dame and Drew. So it's a lot, yeah. What else? The Bulls. I have no hopes for the Bulls at all. I think they'll be 11th, 12th seed, maybe 13th going at the end of the season, just because they've had so many chances to do something with this DeRozan, Vooch, and Levine trio, but nothing's ever like um, happened from it. Just because you have DeRozan, who plays his heart out in the playoff regular season, but doesn't show up in the playoffs. Levine is nice and all, but he can be inconsistent at times. Vooch, double machine, but they just somehow not be able to put it together. And Lonzo, one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history. He has all the potential and talent in the world, but he cannot stay healthy. This man is an excellent passer. This man can defend. This man could his shooting has improved, but the one knock on him has always been his health. He has never played a full season. I don't even know if he played 200 games total in his career yet. So it's tough for Lonzo. I like Lonzo coming out the draft from UCLA. For me, I like a tall guard who can play make, and Lonzo is that. And you add defense and shooting, even better. That's a perfect fit for almost for probably any single organization. But like I said, his knock is going to be health, and we don't know how healthy he is now, when he'll play the season. So it's going to be a big what if. But if I'm the Bulls, okay, we're back. Okay, so sorry about the lag. It's a Wi-Fi issues, but like I said, I think you got to cut losses with the Bulls. Is he the one that went to Chinese jail? No, that is LiAngelo. That is the third ball brother. Flamelo is in the Hornets. Lonzo is on the Bulls, and LiAngelo is not in the league currently. He is in the G League. Yeah, that's the one that was overseas, got caught robbing something, stealing something, and then had to spend time in the Chinese jail. That's LiAngelo. It's the heavier set guy for the Ball brothers. Yeah, their names all start with L. The father Lavar as well, so it could be confusing at times. But so basically, Lamelo's the best one, Lonzo's the injury prone one, and Leangelo's the one that didn't make it. If you, that's how you basically want to describe them, to be honest. But yeah, the Bulls. You can't keep hoping and praying Lonzo comes back when the team around you they haven't performed as well. Like close to playoff appearances and not showing up in the playoffs is just it's time to blow it up. Ever since Derrick Rose went down with that knee injury, haven't the Bulls haven't been the same since. They haven't been able to have a consistent or a threatening team that can make it to the playoffs year in year out like they did with Rose and they did with Jordan. It's just been a lot of pain. So it's time to move on. Next up, Toronto Raptors. I think it's time to pass on them too. Just basically, they have a lot of the same player: Barnes, Pascal, OG. They lost Fred Van Vliet, so they lost talent as well. They got Grady Dick in the draft lottery, so I'm excited to see how he plays. But I think you should move Pascal for to a playoff team so you can get some to get something for him. Just because I don't see this team contending at all this year as well. Just because Pascal is arguably a top 50, top 40 player in the league, but I don't think Toronto has anything to offer. And with what's his name, the coach Nick Nurse out, he's a Sixer now. Yeah, this team just got a lot worse, coaching wise and talent wise. So Toronto's time to move on as well. Just try to build around Scotty and maybe OG, but definitely try to build around Scotty. Let's see, Toronto, the Hawks. So far the Dejounte Murray experiment has not gone according to plan. Last year was the first year with the team. It was a lot of struggling with who's gonna playmaking. It was a lot of struggling with defense. It was just like a lot of mess all over the place for the Hawks, especially in the playoffs. Um, but I think I think they're a player or two, maybe three away. They traded John Collins to the Jazz, so their big man depth did go down. But we got to see what DeAndre Hunter can do. We got to see what Trey can do. Trey is going to be the difference maker because Clint Capella is a walking double double. Dejounte Murray can do almost everything, but he definitely had a bad year last year. Trey Young, he's your guy. He's your number one star, scorer, assist maker. He was passing the ball at an elite rate last year. I think he was number one in assists per game or assists total. So probably assists per game. But hey, Trey Young is one of the most talented players in the NBA. Put a good team around him, you're set. But it's just the one weakness about him, like with a lot of people, are their defense. And Trey Young, if you get switched on you, you're scoring the ball. It's just he just has trouble guarding or like has trouble playing defense, whether it's man to man, zone, etc., etc. So I think if Trey takes that next step, I think the rest of the team will as well. You have a good defensive stud in DeAndre Hunter, Kongwu, former teammates with LaMelo Ball, Capella. Just the guard defense needs to get better. DeJounte Murray and Trey Young need to learn how to defend better at the guard spot. So worst case, because every time they'll just switch or set a screen and switch, the best player in their team will be guarded by Trey Young, and it's almost an easy basket. So they got to figure that out as well. The Heat. Oh, I know Heat fans are not gonna like this, but down year. I do want to say down year for the Heat, but last year the Heat proved that seeding did not matter. Basically, yeah. So seeding does not matter. They went all the way to the finals as an eighth seed. Remember that. So we can say that the Heat are not as good as last year, and that's rightfully true. But the Heat are Who scored? Oh, it was Jacoby. Okay, Jacoby Myers. Okay, so, um, yeah, for the Heat, you lost Vincent, you lost Struce. You didn't get better. You couldn't get Dame. You couldn't get Drew Holiday. Maybe trade for Buddy Hield. It'd be some much needed shooting. We don't know what we're getting out of Tyler Hero this season, but some way, somehow, Heat culture, Eric Spoelstra, they'll find a way to make a deep playoff run like they always do. I don't think they'll make it to the finals this year, but I do believe they can make a run for second round of the Eastern Conference or Eastern Conference Finals. Because I think the Sixers, the top four teams in the East are going to be Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, and Heat, right? I think it's going to be some way, somehow, the two matchups in the conference finals, to set up the conference finals, are going to be Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Sixers. Those four, two out of those four are going to make the finals or the conference finals, and I think if the Heat play the Sixers, they will. It's just some way, somehow, Eric Spoelstra digs deep in his bag of coaching and gets a team that shouldn't be, anywhere considered a playoff team to the playoffs. And a lot, you can say that the Heat coast a lot in the regular season, which they do. Jimmy Butler has been known to coast, so you may not see like the very flashy numbers from anyone on the Heat for a while, but that's how they play. They like to coast to make sure they're like in the pack, and then as soon as playoff time hits or near playoff time hits, they go full speed. So if you're wondering why the Heat are the eighth seed in November or December, just wait. Wait till March, wait till April. They'll be a top four, top five seed in the East, ready to make another run. So, but I don't think they have what it takes to go back to the finals just because of what they lost, and they missed out on Dame and Drew, which could have been very useful versus the Nuggets or potential Lakers matchups or finals matchups against the West. Since I just don't think Jimmy and Bam are good and Hero are a good enough trio to win in the East and or beat a team like the Suns or the Nuggets or Lakers in the West. So it is what it is, Miami. Brooklyn. Let's see. Brooklyn. I mean, Elijah's a big fan of them. I mean, I like them as well. Mikal Bridges, one of the best celebrations of all time. That little three ball celebration. But him, Cam Johnson, I do like them as well. I think this will be a nice Eastern Conference prediction. I think we'll do Western next time. But yeah, I'm only talking about the East today. So basically, for the Nets, I like what they're saying. I think what they're like doing with the young squad. I'm a big fan of Nick Claxton, nice young big in there. He can be a defensive player of the year candidate down the road, just because of that potential. He can shot block. He can, defend the paint very well. He can alter shots. So he definitely has a good defensive potential. But I think I need some more offense. He's scoring like maybe like 8 to 10 points a game, but for a lot of bigs in the league, Jokic, Embiid, Cat, they're finding ways to score in different ways, and I think Claxton needs to follow that trend as well. But obviously, I think some trades are going to be made. McCall should be one of those guys you keep, and Cam Johnson. But so I think Dinwiddie will probably finish his career somewhere else, and probably Cam Thomas as well. Just because you have to sacrifice some stuff, and I know Cam Thomas is probably high on a lot of people's lists, just because his scoring performances from last year. But I mean, it was a very, very rough era when it was Kyrie, Harden, and KD. They were championship hopefuls for like 2 3 years, and nothing ever materialized out of it. So then you had the trade KD, trade Harden, trade Kyrie, and I'm pretty sure all eyes are going to be on who they traded Harden for, Ben Simmons, because every single year we see some workout tape that's always in a gym of him making threes, of him playing well, et cetera, et cetera. But when the preseason, regular season comes, he's nowhere to be found. So, like I said, Ben Simmons, you have the potential to be a great player, a good player, because I think those dreams of him being an elite player are gone because it's been a while. But you have the potential to be a good role player or a good starter even. 6'10", has great court vision, has good playmaking. You can defend as well. You could basically a slashing playmaker. He has all the potential to do all this stuff as a player, but due to his lack of confidence and injury history as well, that's been preventing him to do that. 6'10", a 6'10" point guard is insane, which he should be a playmaking four. So he shouldn't be your starting point guard. He should be your starting four or three, depends how you see it. But his lack of shooting probably puts him at the four. So imagine your power forward or number four running the offense uh, as your second point guard, sort of like a Draymond Green, but more athletic and better decision making. So he has potential to do that, but he needs to be confident. Like those Philly days are over. You don't have no one's expecting a lot from you anymore. Expectations are low. So you don't even have to show out. Just like prove that you can play. Like make some good passes here and there, be a good teammate, etc., etc. Because with expectations this low for you, you can blow everyone out the water. Maybe like 10 points, 12 points a game, maybe 7, 8, 6 rebounds, maybe 4, 3, 4, 5 assists here and there. But you have potential to be a triple double player. But it all depends on it all depends on his confidence, not gonna lie to you. If you're not confident, you're not gonna do shit. And get the dump shot down, etc., etc. So it all depends. Like I really, really, really like Ben Simmons. I liked him in Philly. He was great in Philly. Like his dunking and slashing was amazing. His playmaking was amazing. His defending was amazing. If we can get a fraction of that Ben Simmons, the the um the Nets can be a very dangerous team. Oh, the Braves just walk off. So yeah, and with the rest of that team, a lot of good young pieces, but I think you have to trade for them to be a competitor. And if Ben Simmons can be, how can I say this? If Ben Simmons can be somewhat Ben Simmons, maybe like 75% or 60% of the Philly Ben Simmons, that could be a dangerous team. McCall, Cam, Ben, and maybe add like a number one guy there or number two guy there. This team could be amazing. So think about a lineup of, I think it has to be a point guard. Larry, how you doing tonight? Yeah, the podcast is not the same without John. John will be back on the recorded podcast on Thursday, or we record Thursday, but we will be back. We will upload it on Friday, obviously. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Larry, do you follow basketball at all as well, or same as Chris? You're just Knicks by association. But yeah, I mean, I think down the road we'll probably make the NFL pod live as well, because I like how the live thing works. Thank you, Chris. Hold on. Right there. Thank you. Minus the technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi, I think I've been holding it down a little bit. So I appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate it. I love to talk when I can actually talk, but I appreciate the love, Chris. Yeah. So I mean, but the Nets, we'll see how it goes. The Knicks. Now, do I want to be realistic or do I want to tell jokes? No. Honestly, for the Knicks, I'll be realistic because that's what we want. I want to talk about being realistic. No too much bias on the podcast because I'm a Celtics fan. John's a Knicks fan, and there's Knicks fans in the chat according to Chris as well. So I'm gonna be completely unbiased. This Knicks team has potential, but a lot of things need to happen. The owner needs to get out of here. James Dolan needs John's humor and quirkiness. I mean, yeah, John's humor and quirkiness is a great add to the pod, but as of right now, I think he's technically in NY. He's attending a birthday party, so he's not able to be here tonight. So shout out to John though, love the guy. James Dolan needs to go. I don't think it'll ever happen, but if that ever happens, it's a great first step. They need to ship out Julius Randle. Listen, I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's the player to put you over the hump. And he's been there for a while now, and nothing has happened. Plus, I think you don't want to waste Jalen Brunson's contract here. Jalen Brunson has a lot of. He's your best player. He came in off of a $100 million contract and became your best player over Julius Randle. I feel like if the Knicks wanted to be taken seriously, they need to trade Randle for a better big and maybe better depth on their bench. But Josh Hart, I like his role. Keep him there. Yes, he had a terrible FIBA showing, but I think in that offense with the Knicks, 3-and-D player, he's your grit and grind player. He'll guard the best defensive player and knock down some threes and get some clutch buckets for you. RJ Barrett, I know I've been really rough on RJ Barrett at the beginning of his career, but he showed a lot in the FIBA games, and he showed a lot in the playoffs last year as well. So as long as you stay confident and fix your shot selection and your work on that jump shot of yours, I think RJ Barrett has a lot of potential. I mean, as of right now, he could possibly be one of the best players in this draft. Ja Morant included, Zion included, because Zion has not played any games recently. But RJ Barrett, all you have to do is produce. Put your head down, produce, because the New York media is tough. Not gonna lie to you. But he does have potential in doing everything. So I think RJ Barrett, we need to keep an eye on him in the preseason. And I think Coach Tibbs needs to go as well. There's a reason why Coach Tibbs keeps going from job to job. He was a Bull, he was a Wolf, now he's a Knick. He's great, he's good defensively, but his rotations and offensive schemes are not it. There's a reason why Derrick Rose left, complained. There's a reason why Evan Fournier is complaining right now. They don't know how to use him. And Evan Fournier, I mean, yes, he might be not the best player in the league, but I think used right, he can be decent. And the Knicks haven't done that. So I think we see like a 5th or 4th seed for the Knicks this year. Cavs. Cavaliers. Yeah, disappointing playoffs last year. They lost to the Knicks in 5 games, I believe, 5 or 6. You have the talent. It's your first year with Donovan Mitchell, so obviously chemistry is off. But this team, when it's balling, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, you got Strus from the Heat. You have Mobley and Jared Allen, who got bitched in the Knicks series, but they both have the talent to be very good bigs in the league, and especially a good duo as bigs. You lost Lamar Stevens, but this team has potential to be good. They just got to realize their potential. Darius Garland is still young. Mobley's still young. Jared Allen is decent age. Donovan Mitchell is the vet there. I mean, they had great regular season games against the Celtics and others, but they collapsed in the playoffs. So, Donovan Mitchell, that's your team. You need to lead it. They traded for you for a reason, and then you disappeared in the playoffs. Him and Darius Garland, you guys are the two best players on the team, point guard and shooting guard. This team goes how far you take them. So, and also I think Mobley and Allen need to put on some pounds because they got bullied by Randall and Robinson in the playoffs. But very, 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 very good outlook for the Cavs. I think they'd be a top 4 seed as well, maybe top 5. But the big guys, the big dogs, Sixers. We got to see what happens with this James Harden situation. So thank you for liking the video, whoever did that. Appreciate it. The James Harden drama, I don't know how this is going to end, but if it ends up in a situation where him going to the Clippers, hopefully you get some good trade asset out of it. Terrence Mann, some draft picks, a couple of second rounders, maybe a first rounder. I doubt they'll get a first rounder, but get 2 or 3 second rounders. Get Norman Powell out of it. Get people who can score off the bench. Norman Powell will be a great addition. Rocco, Robert Covington, former Sixer, great 3-and-D player for your team to add depth. But like I said, you need someone to replace Harden on the Sixers team. But Maxey will now be your number 2 if Harden gets traded. And they added Pat Bev, which is not a big addition, but still an addition. So I don't trust the Sixers. They're a guaranteed second round exit at the highest, to be honest. Just because it's just the history. Ever since ever since the last couple like 10, 15 years, they haven't made it to the conference finals yet. I don't know if it's Joel Embiid, I don't know if it's James Harden, but somehow this team cannot get over the second round hump. Just like the Clippers did a year or two ago. They have a good amount of talent, but I think they need to ship off Tobias Harris because that big contract needs to go. I think they can improve there. They just need to figure out what's going on. You got rid of Doc Rivers, so no excuses now. You have Nick Nurse, who's also a good coach. I don't know if it's Embiid and his health issues or how the team is formed around Embiid, but you have all the talent. You have a good team, but you cannot get over the hump. So I don't know what's going to happen, but as soon as something happens with Harden, I think I'll be able to make a better analysis of it. I'll talk about Bucks first since I'm a Celtics fan. The Bucks, Milwaukee. Let's talk. You got Dame, but you had to trade away Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, and I think someone else. But this team is very deep. This team is a good depth team. The pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and whatever is going to be dangerous with Damian Lillard and Giannis. I don't know how you're going to stop it. You can't stop it by driving. Giannis is there. You can't stop it by making Damian Lillard shoot. He's one of the best shooters in the league. So it's either give up points to Giannis or give up points to Dame, and no one wants either one of those. So it's going to be tough. And plus, even if they have an off night, Chris Middleton, if healthy, that's a big if. He can give you 20 points. He can give you some points, and he can give you some rebounds. He can give you some assists. Brook Lopez, tremendous year last year. One of the best shot blockers in the league. Always a threat to shoot it from three. Nice double-double machine as well. Bobby Portis, one of the best six men and bench players in the league. You still have Pat Connaughton. There's also a rookie that I know IBTE Kenny liked as well that I want the Celtics to grab. They have a lot of good talent around there in Milwaukee. A lot of depth. You have a rookie coach though, so it might be some struggle to start off the year, but with the talent, I think he'll be able to hold it down and make sure the Bucks finish at top 2 seed. But yeah, I have them finishing as a top 2 seed. Giannis, I mean, he said he's tired of the disrespect. It's very possible that we could see an MVP year or Defensive Player of the Year from Giannis. And Damian Lillard, this is the best team he's been on his whole career. He has not had a better teammate than Giannis at all. A former MVP as a teammate. So the sky's the limit for this team. They just actually got to show up. Because if you traded for Dame and don't make the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals, already a disappointment. Because I don't know how long. I think Lillard has like 2 years left in his contract. But if you don't get a ring out of Dame and Giannis as a duo, Giannis is out of here. And I know plenty of teams that'll be willing to try to grab him. The Knicks is one of them for sure. And anyone else, to be honest, because it's Giannis. But I do see them being one of the best teams in not only the East, but in the league as well. So, hey, shout out to the Bucks. And my team, the Celtics. I like the starters. The bench is iffy. We traded away Marcus Smart. We traded away Grant Williams. We traded away Robert Williams. We traded away Gallinari. But in return, we basically traded away Williams, Smart, and Williams, and Brogdon for Drew Holiday and Kristaps. I do believe Drew Holiday is better than Brogdon and Smart. Smart's Holiday is basically same level of defense as Smart, but better offensively. KP, Kristaps Porzingis, is an upgrade over Robert Williams. Yes, Robert Williams is probably better defensively, but I'd rather take a slight edge off of defensively, and Kristaps Porzingis is obviously the better offensive player out of those two. So, I mean, plus the way he looked in the preseason game, amazing. So, but it did take some more depth away. So Jordan Walsh, our rookie, who played tremendous in the summer league, he'll probably see some minutes. I think Derek White will probably be the sixth man because I think the projected lineup is Holiday, Brown, Tatum, Al Horford, and Porzingis. So Derek White and Payne Pritchard, we're going to see a lot of them this upcoming year. Jordan Walsh as well. Luke Cornett. I think we should get Dwight Howard, please. Celtics. If any Celtics management, if you're watching, sign Dwight Howard. He's better than Luke Cornett and Kemis Nitas, who we just signed, and Wenyen Gabriel. He'll be a reliable, solid backup big man. I'm not saying we need to sign him as our permanent center or like our starting center, but I think he'll be a nice depth piece. But I think what the Celtics lack, I do think this team has the potential to win a championship. They do every year with Tatum and Brown, et cetera, and an upgraded Marcus Smart and with Porzingis. And to be honest, any year that they don't win a championship, starting like a year or two ago, is a disappointment. So this team is championship or bust, and this team has the potential. But I think the only thing that will stop this team is either health, because Porzingis obviously, Holiday, and others. Jaylen Brown with his injury history as well. The only thing stopping him is late game situations, which has always been a trouble for the Celtics the last 2 or 3 years. How they handle late game situations and their health. If they can be like top 10 in both of those this year, they can win the championship. They're as of right now, they're tied as the title favorites with the Bucks at the same amount of odds. So hey, yeah. So basically, I see them as a top 2 seed. Honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, in the East, Bucks and Celtics could both be the number 1 seed. And I wouldn't be mad at if someone said either one, because how talented they are and how deep. I won't say deep, but Celtics are not as deep as the Bucks. But with how talented both teams are, I wouldn't be surprised if either one finishes first or second. Those should be the top 2 teams, and not only the East, but probably all around the NBA as well, because of their off-season additions. So, with that being said, before we head out, I'm going to do a little grid challenge, because I know we haven't done those in a while. So, I'm going to make a quick grid. I'm gonna play a quick grid. So hoop grids. We're gonna go here. Okay, so we're gonna go off here. Okay, so if you're watching this quick little video, because I'm probably gonna be editing this and posting as a short video. We're at the end of the pod. I'm doing a quick NBA grid challenge before we head out. So the top 3 are the Lakers, the Nets, and a Hall of Famer. In the left 3 is under 5 points per game. Sheesh. And a Hall of Famer. Left is Bucks under 5 points per game and 1,500 points. This is gonna be very interesting. So let's get it. Kareem. The obvious answer. Okay, Bucks. PJ Tucker. Did PJ Tucker ever play for them? Oh, he did not. Hall of Fame. Bucks Hall of Fame. Let me go with Sidney Moncrief. There you go. Under 5 points per game. Let's go with Scottie Pippen. There we go, Scottie Pippen Jr. Let's go. Nets under 5 points per game. Let's go with James White. Isaiah Whitehead? No? Damn. Who's a random ass player that plays on the Nets? Not Derek Favors. Let's see. Wow. This is tough. Actually, let me go with the easy ones. Okay. Let's go LeBron. Let's go Jason Kidd. No, Jason Kidd never had a high of a season. How about Joe Johnson? Yep. Hall of Famer, 1,500 points. Let's go Shaq. There we go. Hall of Famer under 5 points per game, Dennis Rodman. There we go. Easy. Okay, so Nets and Bucks. Nets and Bucks. Not Kyle Korver. Bobby Portis, no. Joe Johnson. No, we can't use Joe Johnson. Darren Williams, no. Blatch, no. Jay Crowder, no. Who's a Buck that played for the Nets? Brogdon, no. Michael Redd, no. Oh, Brooke Lopez. I'm an idiot. Brooke Lopez. I am the idiot. There we go. Okay, so now under 5 points per game that played for Watson, CJ Watson. Bang! Okay. Oh wow, that was the most rare one. Okay, 0.05. Okay, nice little grid here. So there's your grid. We got Kareem, Brooke Lopez, we got Sidney Moncrief, and we got Scottie Pippen Jr., CJ Watson, Dennis Rodman, LeBron, Joe Johnson, and Shaq. So that is the pod for today. A little quick solo pod to get ready for NBA season. Elijah has some business to take care of. We should be back next Monday. We have our recorded pods, which probably should go live anytime soon, with myself, John, and Elijah coming out this Friday around noon. So make sure you look out for that. So with that being said, hey, that has been another Ball Central live podcast. I'm glad we're doing these now. This is our second one. Thank you for everyone who showed up. Chris and Larry, thank you in the comments for commenting and vibing along with me. We appreciate it for a nice solo pod. It was nice to talk to you guys and answer your questions as well. So with that being said, that has been Phil from Baller Central, and we'll see you next time. Deuces.